Bethany Main.
Jack Rickards.
And I'm Martin.
Okay, would you like so we're talking about whether we should publicly fund the arts or not. Okay, Beth, would you like to make an opening statement?
I think that the public funding of the arts should still carry on because it allows people to flourish and fulfil their ambitions.
Mine's sort of on the same lines. I think that we should allow public funding to continue, and especially not be cut, because there's a lot more. If we do cut the funding arts, then there won't be so many job opportunities and education purposes for people to go down, and there'll be more people
Okay.
not be able to do things.
Okay, my theory is this: that if people want things,
Then they should pay for them.
so if people want to,
To go to watch like a musical in the West End, they're not publicly funded. They make a lot of money because people want to go and watch them. If you're making theatre that nobody wants to go and watch, then you're not doing a good enough job and you shouldn't get paid for it.
Some people don't have. Some people want to people who live in diverse areas. Maybe don't have the money to do that, and they want to do it.
okay, so they might want to see stuff that they can't afford to access. Okay,
Yeah.
but there's loads of local amateur dramatic societies there. They can go and watch those, couldn't they? Like school
Shows are on.
But
They're
they're
cheap.
not as spectacular
No.
as the ones. They don't have all of the scenery and.
And then if you don't give a place a chance first with money, and because no one's seen it before, so let's put your point into view that if you want someone to go and watch a show, they have to put their own money into it. If they don't know what they're seeing first, and there's no money to show them to see that show anyway, then it's never going to continue. It's like a never-ending circle. No, it's not going to get anywhere unless you have something, a catalyst with the money that the government gives them.
But then obviously.
You could just get some private investors, couldn't you, that say, right, well, you want to do this play, show me it's a good play, I'll give you some money. That's how the film industry works.
Yeah, but the film industry is much more, in some way, guaranteed to make a better, a eventual thing.
Return.
Yeah, and in a theatre, it's not such of a likely thing. So if you're going to ask someone for private funding, they're going to be more cautious about giving over a certain amount of money than they are going to be if you're going to put it towards a film.
So why should the government be any less cautious about giving over money that's not going to get any money back?
Because the government are going to find they need to be seen as if they're going to help people, and not just a private organisation which are going to just give them money and expect something in return. The government will try and help them get along with it.
Okay, you got anything to add to that?
No. Can I bring up another point?
You
Yeah.
can.
I think that it also improves everybody's quality of life. I think it's really important.
Why do you think that? I'm trying to elaborate.
Well, because it's in things like old people's homes or hospitals, and it's all funded there as well, and it's important.
What was the last piece of performance that you went to see that was in some way funded publicly by the Arts Council?
I don't know. Did you say musicals?
Nope, they are not.
No.
Generally.
I don't know. I don't think I have.
So not everybody wants to go and see them. You don't even want to go and see them. They're not even attractive to you, and you're a performing arts student. So why would, I don't know, my friend who works at B&Q in Leicester,
What's he getting out? He doesn't really go and see opera.
That's true.
He might take his girlfriend to a musical.
but they're not publicly funded. That's what he wants to see. So why do we want to pay all this money to stuff that nobody wants to watch?
£16 million on the Royal Opera House in Covent Garden.
Well, I think so. You're saying, obviously, theatre is different because there's a more, as you say, there's a lot more people that want to go and see it in theatre. In let's say in comparison to like Opera House. But then going back to my point earlier, then if you don't put trust and faith into someone first to see what can happen to it.
I think opera's had a lot of faith and trust into it, and everyone's decided they don't really want to watch it anymore.
Well, I think
that's why there's only kind of one national opera company.
I think that's decreased over the years, which is a shame because I think everyone's have lost faith in it, which is also a shame because it's quite a nice thing to get into, and especially as the government are putting money towards that and wanting to keep it going.
Oh, well, they will because they're all posh, aren't they?
But not all
They're
posh.
all posh and go to the opera.
But as soon as there's only one of them, then even though not a lot of, even the majority of people don't want to go see it, there are some people that do, and it's important.
Yeah, they're not
like
all,
even for school trips and stuff, you can still get deals.
yeah, like educating.
Okay, I'll, in that sense, you want to be able people to be able to access the arts, yeah,
Yeah.
but might not normally. When during the Second World War, Winston Churchill was asked whether they should move all the money from arts funding to paying for more of the war effort. Okay, and Winston Churchill said, "Well, then what are we fighting for?" So he obviously felt that the arts was very important. For some reason, more important than making sure we won the war. How important are the arts to you, or have we got to a point in society now where actually they're so unimportant? We've got PlayStations, we've got cable telly, we don't need to worry about them anymore. They will still continue because there'll always be people who are keen on them. You know, we've got a local operatic society in Braintree that still do Gilbert and Sullivan. We've got you know, or you go down to the Colne Valley Railway. There's people there who turn up at the weekends and in their evenings, and they look after the trains because they love trains. So there'll always be people who love opera, and they'll keep opera going. So it's not going to die. I'm just asking you whether it's important enough to waste our money on.
I think if when they made it up in the 90s, when they made the art, I can't remember, in 1940, I think they made it the arts funding. I think if there was such evidence to show that it wasn't a viable thing to have, I think it would have stopped a lot earlier than now. But I think, as going back to the election, there's a lot of secret Tories, considering how much the Tories run by, and there's probably quite a lot of people that do enjoy the things that the Arts Council fund. And not everyone really shows it, or maybe in the society that live today, it's not a popular thing to do. So not everyone talks about it, but they do it in their spare time when no one really sees. So there is still the want for it.
Okay.
No, I was just going to say that the Imperial War Museum is funded.
Yeah, it is.
And
You have been there.
No.
I have.
Oh.
But I
Would
did
you have paid to go
to the where,
to the Imperial War Museum?
depending on how much it would have costed.
Well, I mean, say it was, I don't know what. I mean, what, it's 30 quid to get into on Terrace, so probably what, 5 or 6, 10 quid?
Yeah, I'd do it.
Yeah.
Because it gives you.
Cool, that takes the public funding away from there.
Yeah.
Don't need it, do we?
Well, no, but then slightly going towards your side, if we did, like the Labour said that they'd try and make museums free because that it's not really despite it being an attraction, it's not like opera where there's probably more work that has to go into it and things like that.
Yeah, there's different level of. Opera costs a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I still think there is a need for the arts funding, definitely, because I think if everyone takes it for granted, but I think if we didn't have it and we just showed a time when we didn't have it, I think everyone would miss something. They go, oh, that hasn't happened or this hasn't happened, and they think, oh, that's the reason because the arts funding's being cancelled.
Okay. You're all right. Okay, right. We're kind of getting towards the end, so I'm going to ask you to think about it and give you a final statement of what you think.
Okay.
I think that.
Do you want to say first?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think arts funding should keep on going because it has a massive, in some way, give to the population of the country. Despite not what everyone thinks that it'll be funded towards, I still think it has quite a large part in what we do and what people want to see.
I think arts funding should keep going because it inspires lots of generations and it creates some jobs and it's a big part of the way we live.
Cool.
Have yourself?
I think that we should stop funding the arts. It's been cut back in terms of money in real terms, although it's sometimes been frozen but not matched inflation. So it's been cut back in real terms now for probably the last sort of 10 years, and so the writing's on the wall, folks. Get rid of it. We're going to have to get used to it not being there, because it's going to go all the way. All of it's going to go eventually. So might as well just do it now, and then let the things that are quality stand through and follow through, and the things that are not so good will just have to be kept alive by enthusiasts.
I want to carry on. We can't.